And Roberts seizing the moment with another shortcut, while Savannah Jack was preoccupied by Sunshine. Nice reversal and elevation by Savannah Jack. He's setting himself, and there's a super kick right to the face of Buddy Jack Roberts. And the impact caught Roberts right in the face and sent him all the way over the top rope to the concrete floor. And there's Michael Hayes with that paper bag. He wouldn't tell us what was in it, but whatever is there, he has it in his hand. In any event, the referee is counting as he should, and he has counted Buddy Roberts out of this match. Savannah Jack has won by a countout. And Michael Hayes doesn't seem too anxious, even though he's got that jar, whatever it is, to get in there with Savannah Jack. With a super kick awaits Michael Hayes. And they better do what they can to get Buddy Roberts to his feet. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, he was leveled by that super kick, and he still hasn't got up. And Hayes now, keep your eye on Michael Hayes. He's a dangerous person at this point in time in his career. But that super kick has convinced Michael Hayes that the ring is not the place to be on this occasion. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Ross. Thank you very much for being with us here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. This is our first Christmas special. We thank you very much for being with us, and we certainly think you're going to enjoy this hour. We'll have two premiere videos. Joe Watts will be with us later in the hour, along with our friends Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Fantastics. Michael P.S. Hayes has also threatened to drop by, and that should liven things up most certainly. It's going to be a great hour. We have a first-time match for television, Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus the one-man gang from the Tulsa Convention Center, a phenomenal collision between two big, tough athletes. We'll have that match for you in its entirety in this hour, and I think you're going to should be expecting a few surprises. It's going to be a fun hour and an exciting hour, as usual, here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. So before we go into our first matchup, we've got to take a commercial break. We'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody, to the Christmas special here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. In this segment, we're going to focus on Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Without a doubt, one of the toughest men in professional wrestling today. 6'3", 295 pounds, from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Also from Bad Street, USA. And that leads us into my one-time colleague, and oftentimes colleague, I should say, Michael P.S. Hayes. Michael has a gripe that Terry Gordy was robbed of the title, that he didn't deserve to be stripped of the Universal Heavyweight Championship. We're going to show you in the next feature some instances and some situations that have really brought this issue to a head, and we're also going to hear a comment from the president of the UWF, Cowboy Bill Watts.
Terry Bam Bam Gordy made wrestling history when he won the UWF heavyweight title, becoming the first Universal Champion. During his reign, Gordy was a fighting champion. Defending his belt against all major contenders, Gordy held on to the belt, many times through questionable tactics. Nonetheless, Gordy is a tough wrestler. Anyone who's ever been in the squared circle or a barroom brawl with Bam Bam will tell you that. And not only is he a tough competitor, he has the cunning mind of Michael Hayes as a plus. On September 30th, 1986, Gordy and Hayes acted together in entering the arm of Dr. Death Steve Williams just prior to a scheduled championship match. After that, Gordy and Hayes asked for a forfeit victory over Dr. Death. However, the Doc persevered.
The good doctor is coming back, and Terry Gordy is not wasting any time and taking over on Steve Dr. Death Williams in this battle for the UWF Heavyweight Championship.
Even though Doc was in great pain, he managed to put Gordy in a big predicament, which caused the Freebirds to enact a contingency plan. Hayes provided a distraction while Gordy armed himself with a foreign object.
He is a winner. He is fighting back, and he is in the ring with one of the most awesome athletes in professional sports, Terry Gordy. What a clothesline! He nailed him. Can you imagine the pain
shooting through the body of Steve Williams, that injured elbow, and he's covered with a 2 count, a near fall for the doctor. Where else but the Universal Wrestling Federation will you see this kind of action? You've got it right here. We certainly appreciate you being with us. And Gordy goes upside down in the corner. Williams with all the velocity that he could muster, and Gordy is in a precarious situation here. Williams clubbing away at the champion. This is one fall. It is television time remaining. And it is for the most prestigious single championship in professional sports, the UWF heavyweight title. Gordy has got to be wondering what's going on. Williams fighting him with one arm. Dr. Death pulling Terry Gordy out. There's Michael Hayes. Now what is... They're not going to interfere. He says he's never going to interfere, and there he is at ringside. He has no business being down there. I'm glad Ronnie West is there. Look at Hayes. Near fall in the ring. Michael Hayes in that second ring has no business being at ringside. Now look at him. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on here. Terry Gordy's putting something on his hand. Gordy's got something on his hand. Boom! Terry Gordy has just leveled Steve Williams, and I'll guarantee you had a foreign object in his hand. And there's a pinfall.
This match turned out to be very ironic, because just 6 weeks later, at the Tulsa Convention Center, Dr. Death injured the arm of Terry Gordy before a scheduled 6-man tag.
The outside. Gordy's got to defend the title against the one-man gang. Dr. Death on that second rope. Dr. Death right across Bam Bam's arm. Bam Bam was trying to save Michael Hayes, and Dr. Death came right across the arm. Bam Bam Gordy's arm. It could very easily be dislocated right here.
Later in that hour, Gordy was scheduled to wrestle the one-man gang. Michael Hayes wouldn't let Gordy wrestle, and referee Tommy Gilbert made a decision to give the belt to the one-man gang. What many people don't realize is that Gordy wouldn't let the UWF check his arm for injury, which nullified Gordy's option to postpone his title bout. Here was what Gordy had to say after the match.
You know, I'd just like everybody out there to take a good look at this right here. This is something that balls me, man. It makes me mad, this right here. And you know, nobody in the UWF has ever beat me. I beat all top 10 of them. You can name them all. I beat them, man.
Yes, you did, brother. You did, man.
That's right, I did.
Terry, the doctor said you've got to have an operation.
Hey, man, don't tell me that. There ain't no doctor going to operate on this arm because I'm not going to wake up every morning, and I mean every morning, and look at a scar on my arm that somebody has left there. There's no way, one-man gang, Dr. Death, you're going to pay.
They said you need it, man.
I can't help that.
Gordy said he was injured, but he wouldn't take an official examination, and he has refused surgery. Keep in mind, though, Michael Hayes has been the only spokesman in regards to surgery, and Hayes' word will never be the only basis for official UWF decisions. Here's what Cowboy Bill Watts, UWF's president, had to say about the Freebirds' claim that Gordy was ripped off.
As president of Mid-South Sports and the Universal Wrestling Federation, the buck stops here. And of course, I've always maintained that you win a title in the ring, that's where you ought to lose it. And we've been strong and supported that issue very proudly. And the thing with Terry Gordy has confused a lot of people. We've got a lot of male pro and con because we stripped him of the title. However, when I was talking about losing the title when you weren't in the ring, I was talking about some federations that have matches booked in towns they're not even scheduled to wrestle in and have champions supposedly against opponents they've never known and don't intend to wrestle. And then they say that this guy lost the title to that guy and there's a new champion. And we've had a case like that just recently we all know about. That's not what I'm talking about. Terry Gordy was booked to defend the Universal Wrestling title against the one-man gang. He was here and in the arena that night scheduled to wrestle. In another bout he was also included in as a six-man tag match. He claims injury. I'm not doubting his word. However, in the ensuing time, he wouldn't have let us get him to a doctor for examination. He also has refused to get it operated on, so I'm not sure just how badly injured Terry Gordy was. But the most important thing is that you fans pay your hard-earned dollars to come to the arena, and you should get what you pay for. We have so many cases of injuries, missed planes, bad weather, where people that are booked cannot be there, that when they're there and somebody like Michael Hayes decides that Terry Gordy's not going to defend the title, we are not going to stand for that. Therefore, he was in the ring and the one-man gang was in the ring, and when he refused to wrestle, he forfeited the title. And that's how come the one-man gang is now the Universal Wrestling Champion. So he won it in the ring, but he lost it in the ring.
I'm sure many fans agree with Cowboy Bill Watts' sentiments and his reasoning for the action that the Universal Wrestling Federation took in the Terry Gordy issue. A lot of fans don't agree with the situation. But be that as it may, the UWF will treat Terry Gordy very fairly, and he will be given title opportunities once he earns them, just as it should be. And we'll be back with more of our Christmas special here on the Universal Wrestling Federation right after this timeout.
You know, folks, I want to do things a little different. Many times you sat down and you turned on your TV set and you saw old Hacksaw come jumping out here, and I've been ranting and I've been raving and I've been telling you what's going on. But I want to say one thing right now. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. A special time of year for me, as I'm sure it's for a lot of you folks. And I have a lot of things to be thankful for here at the UWF. It's been a rough year for Hacksaw. I've had 4 major injuries, 2 of which almost put me out of professional wrestling. I have a long time to sit back and think about what was important to me. I knew what's important to me in my heart. I knew it was the UWF. I knew it was pro wrestling. And I knew it was you people out there. Because many times this past year, Hacksaw Jim Duggan's been down there on the ground, and I've been being beaten, and I've been being bloodied, and in the back of my mind that was creeping through my body, I almost wanted to give up. But you people pulled me through that. Thank you. Merry Christmas, tough guy.
Hi, yeah, we're not just a couple of Christmas trees standing out here with ornaments all over us. We're the Fantastics. 2 guys proud to be a part of the Universal Wrestling Federation. Right. We'd like to take this opportunity right now to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, Feliz Navidad. It's a very special time of year. You know, there's a lot of joy and love throughout the world, Tommy, and nobody knows more about love and joy than us, because what the fans give us out there. And when they support us and come down around the ring, we steal a few hugs and kisses, shake a few hands, sign a few autographs. It just shows us how much you mean to us. And we'd like to take this opportunity once again, as 1987 is coming, Tommy. It's been a hard year for us. We're going to have a much better year, brother, because we're learning to fight fire with fire, and that's exactly what the Fantastics
That's right. You know, Bobby, you say it's been a tough year for us. Well, it's been a great year for us, actually, because we've held the belts, the UWF title belts, which are the most prestigious belts in professional wrestling today, for the longest period of time. And we're just very happy and thankful that we got that chance. And we'd just like to say thank you to everybody out there, and a very Merry Christmas to each and every one of you.
We hope that each and every one of you wrestling fans out there at the UWF are having a very special holiday season, because, you know, it's a time of joyous love, sharing, and families being together. And like Tommy's with the Christmas tree right now and the candy canes, we hope that everybody sent a special hello to Santa Claus, because me and Tommy's seen him, and we're just looking forward once again to seeing all these great people. And Tommy, tell them about this great match coming up.
That's right. You know, we got Mike George and Jack Victory. You know, Bobby and myself are on that trail for those titles again, because we're looking right at you, Bad Leroy Brown and Wild Bill Irwin, and we got to go through you first, Jack Victory and Mike George. So be prepared, brother, because the Fantastics are fired up, and we're ready, brother. So you better come in that ring with all you got, because the Fantastics got a lot.
And you know, this is a replay from Power Professional Wrestling. We'd like to thank our friend Chavo Guerrero for coming out and helping us. Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Power Pro Wrestling. Jim Ross back with you at the Cowtown Coliseum. And there is Art Cruz, who was not even scheduled to be wrestling on this program, but as a friend of Victory and George, apparently just wanted to come to the ring and get a closer look. Now, if you believe that, I'd like to think that's what he's there for. Hopefully that's what he will be there for, and that alone. And a cheap shot to Bobby Fulton from the outside by Jack Victory. And Mike George, now watch this big hammer go to work. George saw what, and wait a minute, there's Chavo Guerrero. I think I got a glimpse of Chavo Guerrero there on the outside. And Art Cruz, this is no lumberjack match. Art Cruz tossing Bobby Fulton back in the ring. Now, as we all know, Chavo Guerrero is one of the men that is most irate about these mismatches, and a man that's certainly looking forward to the bunkhouse brawls. So if Mr. Cruz, Victory, and George thought they were going to be 3-on-2, then that assumption was just that. A tag has been made. Thus far, it has been strictly 2-on-2. We'll keep our eye out for that. Right hands, fist and fire on Power Pro Wrestling. Important rankings on the line in this matchup. Tag team standings and the one-loss record, so very important in any sport. Pro wrestling being no different. These two teams want a victory in the worst way. Victory kicking away at Bobby Fulton, and then Chavo Guerrero over there just to make sure things stay on the up and up. Fulton kicking away. Jack Victory, who quickly tags Bobby Fulton. And Fulton, with every ounce of energy that he can muster, crawling to his corner, but he didn't make it. And Mike George comes in, cuts him off from tagging his partner. And it's the big hammer of the George Victory team, Mike George, clubbing away at Bobby Fulton to the Fantastics here on Power Pro Wrestling. Whoa, those right hands are stinging. And there's lefts and rights. And Fulton, he just didn't trip. It was out of the camera shot, but Art Cruz and Chavo Guerrero. And Art Cruz now with fisticuffs on the outside. And this thing is breaking down. Chavo is there. Chavo putting Art Cruz in the ring. It's Rogers with George, and Fulton now getting him a piece of George, and now Rogers going over to Victory. The referee's calling for the bell. Boy, this broken down into a six-man tag match. A reversal. Chavo Guerrero on top of Art Cruz, and they pin Cruz. All right, Art Cruz got involved and got pinned. The Fantastics with a victory in the book, and we'll be back with closing comments and our special Christmas video after this timeout.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm Joel Watts, the producer of the Universal Wrestling Federation shows, UWF Wrestling and Power Pro Wrestling. I'm here to say hello to my father. I know you're watching me on KMGH in Denver. Dad's out skiing right now. I couldn't be with him at Christmas, but I just wanted to extend my Merry Christmas wishes to him, and I'll be at the house in Tulsa. And don't worry, Dad, the BMW is going to be just fine. I've been working hard on this video. It's called On the Threshold of Liberty. It's by Mark.
Everybody here on the Universal Wrestling Federation's first Christmas special. 1987 is going to be a great year for the UWF, and we hope for professional wrestling in general. But the Universal Wrestling Federation has big plans for 1987, and those plans will be forthcoming just in the next few weeks right here on this television program. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I think one of the most physical feuds in pro wrestling, and we've all seen a lot of great feuds, and we have had our favorites, but I think one of the most hotly contested, one of the most physical battles in pro wrestling today is when the one-man gang steps into the ring with Hacksaw Jim Duggan. We'll see them in action later in this hour, but recently on Power Pro Wrestling, they hooked up in some very unusual circumstances. Let's go back in time and join that match.
Just wait a minute, Mr. TV announcer. Everybody knows since one-man gang's been in the UWF, he's been beating up on people. Well, sooner or later, it had to come down between me and you, one-man gang. And tell you the truth, I don't have the most patience in the world, and I'm sick and tired of waiting.
Hey, Hacksaw Duggan, who wasn't scheduled to even wrestle on television here, he has had all he could stand of the one-man gang. There's a challenge. Look at Buddy Roberts. He just popped the gang right in the eye.
That's right. He's trying to break it up. He's a big-hearted guy, Jim Ross. Look at this. Duggan is saving one-man gang from the beating of his life. That's right.
Buddy Roberts hit Duggan and then ran away.
He's trying to break it up, Jim. Trying to break it up. There he goes again, trying to break it up. Hey, 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 what is this?
The gang and Duggan. Boy, what a brutal physical feud this is. Any way to get it settled, there's someone going to get hurt in this situation. Look at Buddy Roberts. There goes the referee. The dressing rooms are emptying here. They're trying to get Duggan and the gang separated.
I don't see how they can. These two men want to get at each other bad, Jim Ross. Whoa!
There goes Mike Reed all the way out to the floor. The ring now is Buddy Roberts surveying the action somewhat. The one-man gang is hammering people. Hacksaw Duggan is hammering people.
They're hitting everyone just to get to each other, Jim Ross.
Whatever it takes for Duggan and gang to settle their situation once and for all, that's what's going to happen.
You know there's some pain being inflicted in that huddle. Fists are flying.
Duggan with those big grade A hams. They're trying to get Duggan away from the gang, and likewise with Akbar trying to get his people, get the gang out of the ring. This thing is really broken loose. Hacksaw Duggan challenging the one-man gang. He wants war.
I've never seen such a serious face in my life. Looks like they want it right now.
Hacksaw Duggan was hammering friends and foes alike, and now the big men are right back at it. The wrestlers in the ring, some and all, they're all trying to break this thing up before it gets entirely out of hand. Akbar still on the outside, directing traffic. But Duggan right back in the game. Well, I'll tell you something. This thing, they've got everybody in the cook in the ring to get it broken apart. Hacksaw Duggan and the one-man gang. Duggan was not even scheduled for television. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to get this darn thing back together.
It took everyone in the dressing room, security guards. The Cowtown Coliseum was really a roar during that situation. Hacksaw Duggan and the one-man gang, what a violent collision. And we're going to show you a matchup, a main event from the Tulsa Convention Center, a tremendous crowd on hand for the one-man gang and Hacksaw Duggan's one-on-one battle for the Universal Heavyweight Championship. We'll have that match in its entirety in the hour. By the way, I think it's just about time for Santa Saw. We'll be back.
Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, Hacksaw, Santa Saws, and the holiday spirit. And I just want to tell everyone out there, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And Chief, I'll be seeing you at home real soon. Tough guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Devastation Incorporated at 6'9", 495 pounds from Chicago, the current UWF heavyweight champion, the One-Man Gang.
One-Man Gang, along with General Skandar Akbar, in this match from the Tulsa Convention Center, will be for the Universal Heavyweight Championship as we await the arrival of the challenger. Hacksaw Jim Duggan will challenge the One-Man Gang for the Universal Heavyweight Championship. Sit back and enjoy this one. This should be a classic here on Universal Wrestling.
Now entering the ring, the challenger from Glen Falls, New York at 280 pounds, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. This match for the UWF heavyweight title. One fall, 60-minute time limit for the UWF heavyweight championship.
And Mike Wilson scurries from the ring as he completes his introductions. And Hacksaw Jim Duggan in the match that has been a long time in the making. And it's been signed for this very special Christmas program here on Universal Wrestling. We certainly hope that you've enjoyed the hour thus far. And don't forget Joel Watt's premiere video, Winter Wonderland, with featured music by the fabulous Thunderbirds, coming up later in the hour as this crowd here in Tulsa prepares for the classic confrontation, the monumental battle between the One-Man Gang and Hacksaw Duggan, as the gang apparently is emulating Hacksaw Jim Duggan's patented yell and that stomp, but he doesn't do it like the Hacksaw, nor does he get the reaction. A stare down, and Duggan with those right hands. Duggan with lefts and a big roundhouse right, and down goes the One-Man Gang. Duggan quick to the attack. He is the aggressor, and he operates best when he is in that mode. And now Duggan up to the second rope. And right hands to the One-Man Gang, and the gang at 6'9" and 495. One of the most awesome men in pro wrestling today, and Duggan with a right hand, and down goes the One-Man Gang. That was a grade A ham. All the way from Glens Falls, New York, Hacksaw Duggan. And the One-Man Gang is definitely in trouble in the early stages of this championship matchup. Duggan, who retired the North American Heavyweight Championship undefeated. And in the tournament in Houston, Texas on May 20th, that's where this situation all started, as the gang now in a very precarious position. And Hacksaw Duggan taking advantage of every opportunity and biting away at the gang. One-Man Gang between the second and third rope, and now Duggan with those right hands, and the gang has nowhere to go. The crowd here in Tulsa loves Hacksaw Duggan, as they do throughout the wrestling world. And Duggan taking back over on the One-Man Gang. Referee Edward Falk counting, and Duggan trying to keep his composure as the gang balancing, and now all the way back outside the gang, and the gang is in trouble and hurting on the announcer's table. The One-Man Gang, you can hear him on the outside there as Duggan rams the gang's head into that table. Everybody at ringside has moved away because these battles get out of hand in a hurry. These two men, the times that I have seen them clash, have spent a lot of time outside the squared circle, just like Duggan is right now, throwing chairs, moving furniture. Duggan throws the One-Man Gang to the table. There's the championship belt and the bell. And the referee, I think, is being very tolerant at this point in time as far as the rules are concerned. Duggan and Gang now both back into the ring. Duggan
has stepped in this ring on this occasion with vengeance. The most coveted single championship in this sport rests in the balance. The one-man gang, the champion, and General Skandar Akbar, taunting Duggan with that whip as the referee came between the men as he should, but the gang with a cheap shot. And it doesn't take many cheap shots when you're 6'9" and 495. Those clubbing lefts and rights, putting Duggan down. The one-man gang showing why he is the biggest fighting machine in wrestling. Using the headbutt. The crowd, you can hear them chanting, Dugan, Dugan, as the gang covers Duggan, the lateral press, but Duggan close to the ropes. That's good strategy by Duggan. But the gang not breaking the hold, he's choking away. There's Skandar Akbar at ringside, always taunting Hacksaw Duggan. What a hatred those two men have for each other. Remember, it was Akbar that burned Duggan severely. And what a double right hands. Duggan is down. And that thump there went the one-man gang. A delayed reaction. Duggan went down. And then, just moments later, down goes the giant one-man gang of Skandar Akbar. The devious one stalks the outside. Duggan back to his feet. And now it's fist and fire. The gang fighting back. Going for the pile driver, the one-man gang. Duggan's got a... He's powering out at 495. Duggan elevated the gang all the way over the top rope. The referee distracted by Skandar Akbar, or that could have been an automatic disqualification. But what strength, what determination. Duggan elevating the giant one-man gang over the top rope, but the gang back into the ring. Duggan with that clothesline. He's got the gang down, but Akbar's in the ring. That's an automatic disqualification. Akbar's got himself disqualified. Duggan with those right hands to General Skandar Akbar. But here comes Wild Bill Irwin. It's three men against one, and Duggan is standing tall. Duggan and the gang fighting back. Here comes Irwin. The bell is ringing, signaling the disqualification. There goes the referee. Akbar's thrown the referee out. Jeff Gaylord, Tim Massey. Wrestlers coming to the ring to get this thing broken apart. Bodies are flying. The referees have signaled for help. The dressing rooms have emptied as this match has ended in a disqualification. But the most physical feud in wrestling continues right here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. As the ring has filled with several hundred pounds of athletes, similar to the bunkhouse brawl, except in that match they'll be wearing their jeans and their boots as Duggan and the gang are still fighting here in Tulsa. It's gone past championships. It's a personal situation between the one-man gang and Hacksaw Jim Duggan as more wrestlers come to the ring. It's like a who's who in pro wrestling. They're all in that one ring. Duggan and the gang still fighting. What a mass of humanity trying to separate this thing here in Tulsa. There's Terry Taylor, the Iceman, in the ring. Akbar's trying to get his troops. Now Duggan has left the ring. He's looking for something. He's a man possessed on this occasion. Hacksaw Duggan with that heavy chair. You better look out in the ring. Duggan has just busted the Angel of Death and the one-man gang and whoever's in the way. And the ring is clearing. Bodies are flying as Duggan's got that chair. Chavo Guerrero, look out. There's the president of the Double G Lumber Company, and he has moved some furniture and cleared the ring. There's none like him in this sport. Gary Young, they're trying to settle Hacksaw Duggan down. And they're not going to get back in the ring as long as Duggan's just going to sit and wait. All right. Hacksaw Duggan. There's Dr. Death on the outside. The angel of death, who probably doesn't know where he is or who he is. And Duggan waits for the one-man gang's return. Now there's the chair leaving the ring. The crowd is ready. Duggan is ready. And the one-man gang attempting to come back in the ring. He's being pulled back out of the ring as Duggan awaits the giant challenge of the gang. And we'll keep it right here. Gary Young back in the ring. Terry Taylor and Dr. Death holding Hacksaw Duggan. There's the Iceman. They're trying to talk some sense into the big saw, but he's not listening. Duggan now breaking away. There's the gang. And Duggan and the gang are fighting again. Right down the aisles. Duggan and gang fighting right down the aisles here in Tulsa. They're trying to break this thing apart, and it's taking everybody in the cook to get them separated. Dr. Death and Duggan. And Dr. Death, Duggan broke apart, broke away, now back into the ring. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. What an animal. And what a feud with the one-man gang. But Hacksaw Duggan is standing tall.
Folks, you know me. It's old Santa Saw out here again. But not this time, not so joyful, not so happy. I like to get in the holiday spirit. I like dressing up in fancy Dan costumes and having myself a good time. But when things get a little bit out of hand, when one-man gang can't handle it, when the UWF can't handle it, and they send everybody out in the building to try to pull you and me apart, tough guy, well, things have got to come to an end. I tried to get you before in a cage match, but your Skandar Akbar cronies, Irwin and Big Bad Leroy Brown, put an end to that. But gang, New Year's resolution. Santa Saw saying it today on TV. You're going to go down, tough guy.
Season to be married. This is a time to be happy. This is a time to be with your family. And I have something to say. I want to wish everybody a very happy and a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But you know what? My New Year is not over because I have something to settle with one Jack Victory. Now, Mr. Tatum, he got in an accident. I don't wish that on anybody, believe me. But, Mr. Tatum, I hope that you get well soon, because the sooner that you get better, the sooner I can take care of business. I haven't forgotten. Now, Jack Tatum, you go out, and you're very crafty. You get a Mike George. Every time I wrestle you, you have a Mike George. You have a Tatum. You have somebody else. Well, brother, I have plans, too. Remember the Alamo? I hate to say this, but I have plans, too. And they're going to come around. And, Mr. Jack Victory, when we get in the ring, I'm going to give you your Christmas present. Whether it be on top of the head, whether it be in the belly, it don't matter what town. Merry Christmas to everybody. Jack Victory, you're mine.
Oh, yeah, I can picture it all right now. Everybody's at home right now, and the mother, she's done went out and she's bought all of the food. She's going to stay up all night long on Christmas Eve and cooking and everything. And all the kids, they already made out all the little letters that they're sending to Santa Claus. We know this is the greatest time of year, ho, 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 and all that good stuff. But we've got a big Christmas list made out, and at the top of it, we got Missy's Christmas list from Sting, Steiner, and Eddie. And Missy, who is the first person that is on your Christmas list? What a great time of year to be giving stuff.
Yeah, I know, and that's Dark Journey. There's a lot of stuff that I want to give you. And hey, we all got a little present just for you, Dark Journey.
That's right, because, see, Missy Link and Dark Journey, we like giving stuff. We like giving paint, we like giving pain. Like when you take hold of Missy Link and drop him on his head, Stinger comes with his clothesline, and ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, Dark Journey and Missy Link from Hot Stuff and Hot.
It's sort of been a fun hour, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have bringing it to you. We certainly hope that you have a great Christmas with your family and all your loved ones. A lot of exciting things happening, as I mentioned earlier in the hour, about 1987, the 1987 World Tour, the Universal Wrestling Federation being in areas that we've never been in before, and we'll certainly look forward to coming. Also, the big matches coming up very soon, the First Blood, I Quit Bunkhouse Brawls, without a doubt the wildest battle royal in the history of the sport, where the men come wearing jeans and boots, tape fists, whatever they want. They settle it man to man. About once a year is all that their bodies can stand, and that's what you're going to see coming up, the big bunkhouse brawls. We hope you'll be with us for those great battle royals. As I said, it's been a super hour. We certainly appreciate all the efforts Joe Watts and all the staff have put into this Christmas special. Hacksaw Duggan, I want to thank him for dropping by, the Fantastics. It's been a super hour. We'll have a great hour for you here next week, including a matchup between Hacksaw Duggan and Terry Taylor taking on Rick Steiner and Sting. But we couldn't send everybody a Christmas card, but we could send you something via this video. We certainly hope that you have a very Merry Christmas. You're a very special group of people. Thank you very much for being with us, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hi, I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tommy.
We're the Fantastics.
And we'd just like to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Crackheads there. Tommy Gilbert. Now Chavo all the way to the top. Whoa, what a move!
What a move.
Victory in Leon.
Hi, my name is Chavo Guerrero, and I want to wish everybody out there a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And like they say in my country, Feliz Navidad y un próspero año 1987. Thank you very much.
My name is Jeff Rates. I want to wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
St. Louis, Missouri, at 235 pounds, the Iceman, King Parsons.
Yeah, hello everybody, I'm the Iceman, King Parsons. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Can you dig it? Have mercy.
This is Gary Young with the Universal Wrestling Federation, wishing you all the people in Houston, Texas, and Texas all around a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
From Vero Beach, Florida, at 235 pounds, Terry Taylor.
Hi, I'm Terry Taylor, and I want to take this opportunity to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody out there that watches TV on wrestling and everybody else, too. Mama put on the turkey. I'm on my way home.
Walking in a winter wonderland. Ho, ho, ho. Old Santa Saw here, wishing everyone out there a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And you better not be naughty. Tough guy.